right, let's turn our attention to something that is playing out in Plateau State. You know how there's a lot of talk about the National Assembly, the leadership at the National Assembly. I know someone who says, well, you know that Nigeria actually has at least, 37 presidents, and that cuts across. It's talking about not just the president at the national level, but the states as well. So it's important to pay attention to what's happening at the states, because he believes that the 36 state governors are presidents themselves in some sense. So we're turning our attention to the Plateau State House of Assembly, and you may have seen our guests this morning. Just yesterday we got news that the police actually sealed the assembly complex to forestall a breakdown of law. It's something that has been brewing since 2021, and it just heightened some more earlier this week. So let's get into it. What exactly is going on in that area? As you may have seen earlier on, we're joined on the program by Honorable Abok Ayuba, who is a reinstated Speaker of the Plateau State House of Assembly. And right next to him is Honorable Daniel Lanlong, who's a Majority Leader, Plateau State House of Assembly. Both of them join us via Zoom this morning. Good morning, gentlemen. Thank you for joining us on the program. I'll just get right into it and begin with Honorable Ayuba. Now, this has been a long time coming. There was a controversy about your impeachment as far back as October 2021. This case was taken to court. You petitioned both your party, the caretaker committee. You even petitioned some others, just trying to, get a headway. But the courts have decided now. Two decisions made in a space of 2 days, but just get us to understand, right after you got the first judgment that reinstated you, what exactly played out? Because we understand that now the assembly has been sealed. So what part or what role did you play right after that court decision reinstating you?
Well, good morning, viewers, and thank you for giving us this audience this morning. Let me start by saying that aside from the judgment that was granted by the High Court's number 7, there's no any other judgment again. The judgment was a declaratory judgment which we executed that very day. The second day I invited members of the House of Assembly, which we went to the House of Assembly, went to the chambers, and we
Go ahead, Honorable. All right, not to worry. We'll try to get connection back with both gentlemen, just to give you a sense of what's playing out. But let's bring in Honorable Nanlong. I imagine that there's an audio difficulty with Honorable Ayuba Abok. But Honorable Nanlong, you are the Majority Leader in the State Assembly, and you've stayed back even right after the whole debate and controversy around his impeachment. The court has decided now, saying that that impeachment was actually not done the right way. You were a part of that, so I imagine that you agree with the court, even though there's a talk about an appeal and a stay of execution. But he says there has been nothing regarding that. So tell us your side, at least.
Thank you very much, and thank you, viewers. It gladdens my heart that I have this opportunity to clear the air so that people must not go out there with misinformation that will lead to a lot of argument in the court of public opinion. To be honest with you, I expect Abok, the former speaker, who is supposed to be a lawyer, should be able to know the difference between a declaratory judgment and an executory judgment. In the entire judgment, it is clearly an executory judgment. And he has not, in a very clear time, he has not executed that judgment because he is not the sheriff, neither is he who have executed the judgment. But let us put that one aside. I think Nigerians need to know the truth about this current political impasse and legal impasse. First and foremost, yes, we agreed as a house that unknown to us that there was a case that was going on. because to the best of my knowledge, as a defender in that court, in that case, I am supposed to be served. I have not been informed, neither is the House informed that there was any judgment that was, any case that was going on. But of course, the court has made her decision. We were in the House of Assembly when Honorable Abok came in and addressed press. And he said that he has been reinstated. And because we are law-abiding, that is why we didn't want to take anything that will appear as if it is unlawful. But for his appearance in the State House of Assembly that day is a complete trespass, because Honorable Abok ceased to be a member on the 22nd of March 2022, when after his impeachment as the Speaker, and of course he was a member of the House of Assembly, but later he defected from APC to PDP. And the Constitution is very clear about his position as at that time. Section 109, subsection 1G of the 1999 Constitution is very clear about it, that once a person who was sponsored by another party, before the expiration of his tenure, if he decided to defect to another party, the Constitution is very clear. His seat will be declared vacant, and the House of Assembly, through the procedures that took place on that day, his seat was declared vacant. And as I speak to you now, you can only be a member of the House of Assembly before you can lay claim to even the speakership. So what is happening today, even though when the judgment came, as a law-abiding citizen, and of course, like I always say, that we are product of the law, and we must respect due process.
Oh dear. Well, we lost you for a moment there. Can you hear me, Honorable Nanlong?
I can hear you.
Okay, please go ahead. We lost you momentarily there. Please go on.
Yes. An appeal and also a state of execution. So as far as this judgment and the appeal that we have instituted, it is only a common ground in law that the status quo must be maintained. And as it stands today, he is not the Speaker of Plateau State House of Assembly, neither is he a member of the State House of Assembly.
So just to be clear, you are aware of that judgment, because it sounded like you were saying you were not aware in the first place, but you are aware of that judgment right now.
Yes, it came to us when our attention was called upon that there was a judgment in Court 7. And to the best of our knowledge as a house, nobody was aware of that judgment, or even that case. Because I could remember vividly that after his impeachment, the house sat. We agree, we took a position among ourselves that we must go together as a body.
Okay, Honorable, just a moment. I just wanted to establish whether you are now aware of that court judgment or not, but you've said now you are. But let's take it back to Honorable Ayuba Abok. He's back now. And I'd like you to speak to some of the issues raised by Honorable Nanlong and land on the point you were making earlier on. Basically, he's talked about your seat being vacant because you've since left the APC for the PDP, and he's also spoken about that particular judgment, whether it's executory or not. So I'd like you to respond to that, then we can move on.
Well, thank you. You know, he's not a lawyer. I would have preferred this argument to be with a lawyer who understood the routement of the courts. You know, there's nothing like executory judgment. It's a declaratory judgment, which the declaratory judgment, you take execution immediately. Lawyers, I know lawyers on these channels are watching us, they know what I'm speaking. And that execution took place that very day. We went to that house, and we made a press statement that very day. The second day, we went with our members to the chambers and we said, and that judgment, as far as the law concerned, that judgment has been executed. The second one, he said that my seat was declared vacant. I don't know when the House of Assembly started interpreting the laws. We are lawmakers, we don't interpret the laws. If actually I left the party for another party, the first thing the House of Assembly needed to do is to take me to court, for the court to interpret that section. And once the court interpret and find me faulty, then the court will now declare my seat vacant before the House of Assembly will take charge. And who declare my seat vacant is the illegal speaker. That is the illegal speaker. So illegality upon illegality. That impeachment was done by 8 members of the House of Assembly. And the majority leader here is just a majority leader of the party. He doesn't know anything. Nobody is going to serve him. He is not a presiding officer. Judgment was served to the clerk of the House and the legal department of the House. And the legal department of the House participated in the court in defense of that illegality. And there was no any defense because they don't have any defense in the court. They didn't file anything that has to do with defense in the court. The lawyers of the Ministry of Justice were there, and that is why the judgment is a declaratory judgment. And I could have loved to argue with someone that I know he has the background of the law. Majority leader doesn't know anything about the law. He will just be beating around the bush. I could have preferred the Commissioner of Justice is the one I'm speaking with right now. I'm telling you, we were invited by the Commissioner of Police yesterday, and we went as law-abiding citizens of Plateau State. We went and met him. We had a very lengthy discussion with him, and he said that notice of appeal have been served to us, so that our judgment has been vacated. We told him, notice of appeal has nothing to do with stay of execution. After all, this judgment has been executed. We showed him the evidence of our sittings, the video, and I know you have the videos. You even showed the videos that we were in the chambers, and we had our normal sitting as law-abiding citizens, as honorable members of the House of Assembly. So I'm inviting my...
Pardon me, just quickly, yes, you're saying that there has been no stay of execution.
There's nothing like stay of execution. Nobody would even grant declaratory judgment. Nobody will grant a stay of execution in the declaratory judgment. Nobody will issue that thing they call a stay of execution was typed in the office of the Attorney General of the state and was printed there. Check it. No court. They must have to go to that court that gave that judgment. It's the judge that will give the stay of execution. They have not gone there. Judges day before yesterday were in Government House for the swearing in of the new judges. And yesterday, no any judge said. So we were with the Commissioner of Police to brief him on the happening. Let him not take laws into his hand.
All right.
That laws, we make laws for him.
All right. Pardon me, so that we can just touch on the major issues in the space of a time we have. Let me go to Honorable Nanlong. We'll still talk about the outcome of your meeting with the Commissioner of Police and of course, the way forward. But Honorable Nanlong, regarding this case still, so he says there's been no stay of execution, that yes, maybe a notice of appeal has been instituted, but not a stay of execution. And I wonder, because you were part of the impeachment in 2021, if the court has said that this is what should be done, would you be standing in the way of the court?
Thank you very much. You see, I don't know whether the former speaker is assuming the position of a lawyer and a judge. And at the same time, he seems to be the court bailiff, the police, and he has almost assumed the position of everything to carry out the execution of a judgment, which he claimed that it was a declaratory judgment. It is quite unfortunate that even though I know that he has gone to university to read law, he is yet to go to the law school to appreciate some of these issues that we're discussing. But I would make it categorically clear that the judgment, which we as law-abiding citizens will respect, but as I speak to you, that judgment has not been executed because it is an executory judgment. He cannot define his layman understanding. Like I said, by the time he will go to law school and probably graduate from law school, he will come to agree with my position. We are not in dispute with any court. But what we are saying is that we have instituted an appeal and a stay of execution, which it means, therefore, that the status quo must be maintained. And if the status quo must be maintained, I said it in clear terms, that he is not even a member of the House of Assembly. The position of the law is very clear for defection. Like I said, he cannot be the lawyer and the judge at the same time. Let him go and look at section or 109, subsection 1G. Can he give me his position that says that the person must go to the court and the court will give interpretation before his seat is declared vacant? You see, that is why we want lawmakers who have the experience, who have built capacity over the years, who have appreciated what legal, development is all about. From the position he has posited, sir, let me be very clear to you that if he believes that his impeachment was wrongfully done, why didn't you go to the court to challenge him? 24 members of the Plateau State House of Assembly are the legitimate members. Only 2 members went to court on his behalf. If Abba feels pains that injustice was done to him, he is there, I challenge him. Why didn't he go to court? And do they have the local standing to even institute that case in the first place? He is a lawyer. Let him tell us.
Honorable Nanlong.
A judgment. He knows what to do. As a lawyer, he must go to the court because he is the direct beneficiary. He is the one who is being injured by the decision of the House of Assembly. So let us not go into one issue that will amount to an academic exercise. But he knows very well that he was rightfully impeached by 16 members of the Plateau State House of Assembly.
Honorable Nanlong, we'll get to that. Speak to the reinstated speaker's claim that the stay of execution obtained was typed in the office of the Attorney General.
It's quite unfortunate that he appears to have a satellite where he can sit down and lay claim to things that maybe in his wildest imagination, he is getting it from the spirit. We don't know about that. No, I mean, it was the State House of Assembly that appealed the case. Why should we now go to the office of the Attorney General when we have the legal department? When we went to the same court, let him go and check the registry. My problem with him is that he cannot go and verify issues. He is telling you now that he has gone to the police commissioner to interpret the constitution to the commissioner of police. Is it by virtue of his experience, or is it by virtue of his legal experience that he is now interpreting the judgment or the order that police serve?
All right, you say that the reinstated speaker was rightfully removed, but the report suggests that the parliamentary sitting during which he was removed held between the hours of 6 a.m. and 7 a.m. and it's in contravention of Order 6 rule of the State House of Assembly. That's on the one hand. And on the second hand, the report suggests also that he was removed by 6 members of the State Assembly in contravention of the required 2/3 for the impeachment of a sitting speaker.
Certainly that is not true. In fact, this issue we have already dealt with this issue long before now. There is no any House of Assembly in Nigeria that will go and sit around 6. Even if there are instances where if it has become a matter of urgent public importance, where the doctrine of necessity can be applied. But in the case of his impeachment, the House sat normal days that we normally sit as members. We took decision. The videos are there. Our records are with the clerk, and it has also been made available to all the 3 cases that were instituted in the court. You see, it is quite unfortunate that he is making this claim that he was not impeached by. Why didn't you go to court? If he was convinced that it was only 9 members who impeached him, why didn't he go to court? He knows the truth. The problem right now is that the PDP, who before now have deceived him, that if he joined them in the PDP, they are going to offer him a House of Representative ticket. But at the end of the day, they disappointed him. And today, they are also trying to use him to have a voice in the State House of Assembly, believing that they will obstruct a smooth transition from one civilian rule to another. All this that is happening is more political than the real issues that we're talking about. So he should be able to tell you, why didn't you go to court? Why are two members, if we were not up to 16, why didn't other members join along or go along with the two members to that case? It was only two members. So to tell you that the majority of the members who are in the State House of Assembly are in conformity, are in agreement, have subjected their leadership to Right Honorable Yakubu Sanda. It tells you that the House is not in division. What is happening today is the two PDP members who decided to go to the court, unknown to us, and whatever they have done is just they are playing to the gallery in order to appease the intentions and the situations that the PDP have found themselves on the plateau. Because this government has a legacy of maintaining peace and order. This government has an unprecedented achievement across the state. And because we are planning to go around and show Nigerians what this government has done by way of commissioning our project, the moment they saw the timetable came out, and they are trying to use him as a tool in order to cause distraction. But he knows I challenge him, why didn't you go to court? You ask him there.
Honorable Nalong, if I may come in now, I wanted to just, you've talked about him going to court. I imagine that part of the reason why we're having this conversation is that a matter has been taken to court, and 2 years after this matter was taken to court, a judgment has been given. The Plateau State House of Assembly is already winding down. I imagine that by June, July at the latest, your matters should be completely wrapped up in the Plateau State House of Assembly for this particular tenure, for another, set of legislators to take over. And I know that part of the reason why the former speaker was said to have gone to court was that he's asking the court to, he said, as Speaker of the Plateau State House of Assembly, by the vote, that his removal as Speaker of the Plateau State House of Assembly by the vote of less than 2/3 majority of the 24 members, which is 16 members of the Plateau State House of Assembly, was in violation of Section 92, subsection 2C of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999, as amended. Order 7, Rule 14 of the Plateau State House of Assembly, Standing Orders 2021, as amended. You can contradict this if it's not true. But then if this judgment is just coming out, just a moment, Honorable, if this judgment is just coming out 2 years after Honorable Abok was allegedly impeached, what exactly are you so afraid of? There's only how many months to the end or to the expiration of this particular assembly?
Let me clear the air also that his impeachment, we were able to satisfy every requirement of the law by having a 2/3 of the members who have signed for. Secondly, let me also, because in the judgment, they cited an example with Order 7, Rule 14, which was a document that, it was a review of the 8th Assembly to the 9th Assembly. Now, in that document, it only talks about financial misappropriation, where a committee will be set up to investigate the allegations. But in this case, the House did not accuse him of financial misappropriation. What we said was a gross conduct. Members of the House of Assembly who have endorsed his impeachment. So, Order 7, Rule 14 is not applicable in this instance. And also, that before we even move the motion for the impeachment, there was a motion to that effect, because in our standing rule, you will see that Order 1, Rule 8 clearly stated that where there is a need for a rule to be suspended, the House, through a resolution, can suspend that rule. which was what we applied. Order 7 Rule 14
you might be explaining, sorry to interrupt you, you can explain what is in your rule books. The fact of the matter, as is before journalists and as we have it before us, is that Honorable Abok took these matters to court, and a court has given judgment in his favor. I mean, you have a few months before the expiration of the tenure of your assembly. Why is it so difficult to abide by what it is that the court has said?
No, you see, we're talking about the law here, and we are respecters of the law. One thing I told you is that Honorable Abok did not go to court. It is Honorable Purifier and Honorable Watson that took the matter to court. Now, a judgment was, of course, received in that regard. And like I told you, already there is a state of execution, already there is an appeal instituted. So the police commissioner, which he was laying claim to, told him in clear terms that they are in receipt of a court decision, that is a motion of notice and the state of execution. They are in receipt, and they are to execute that which the court, the same court, has given that order. The question is, when it was in his favor, he hurriedly went to the House of Assembly.
Just hold your thoughts for a moment, Honorable Nalong. Let me go to Honorable Abok, because he's here and he can speak for himself. I'm sure he can clarify as to whether he was the one who went to court or that others went to court on his behalf. But Honorable, do you want to quickly speak to that? Did you go to court, or did other people go for you, or did you ask people to go in proxy for you? What was the situation?
Well, let me say this. Please, next time when you are inviting us to speak about issues that has to do with the Constitution, invite people that has knowledge on the Constitution, people that has a background of law, please. He's just contradicting himself. In the first, when he started speaking, he said he has no any knowledge of the judgment. Now he's speaking, he's reading what the judge gave in that court. He's just contradicting himself. We have how many cases? I file a case. I have a case with the High Court after when this one was instituted. Judgment was given. No matter what happened, the judgment has been given in my favor, and they must have to respect the constitutional court of this country. When he's speaking, you know, he's speaking totally out of point. Totally out of point. He's speaking like someone that doesn't know anything about has any background about it being his own house rule. So I don't know. I find it very, very difficult to argue with someone that doesn't have a background of law. Let me tell you one thing here. There's nothing like executory judgment in the first place. Please, I want my colleague to know there's nothing like executory judgment. It's declaratory judgment. Execution took place immediately. Well, once there's a declaratory judgment, the execution takes place immediately. If you don't know it, go back and ask your lawyer so that he will clarify you on that. And that execution has taken place. We went to the court. Once we went to the House of Assembly and we have served. We passed even a bill in that house that day for third reading. So if this person is saying that he's not aware of that judgment, to me, and he's the same person that said he has no knowledge of that judgment, and he's the same person that is reading that judgment again, he's just contradicting himself because he has no any background of even his own house rule. He cannot even defend his own house rule. Who's supposed to suspend the rules of the house? Is the speaker. I have not assigned that duty to anybody. And before now, the speaker is the only person that has the right to call for sitting and to adjourn the sittings of every house. If I have an engagement, I will call the clerk in the front of the members of the House Assembly in the chambers to tell them that I have been relinquished my powers to the Deputy Speaker for him to continue with the sittings. So when I find it so difficult to be talking to someone that doesn't even know what he's speaking about.
Honorable Aiba, if I may come in here, you told us that you don't want to argue with someone who's not a lawyer. So let's leave the legal terms and come down to the layman's English and see what exactly is the situation here. You were speaker. Your members impeached you, and he says for gross misconduct, not because of embezzlement of funds or anything or misappropriation, gross misconduct. That is an argument a lot of people have had. What exactly makes up gross misconduct? That's something that needs to be explained. And now the courts have reinstated you, and the House is saying, I mean, the majority leader there is saying that they don't want you. What is the situation? What's the way forward? They've gone to appeal. They say there's a stay of execution. What exactly is going on, especially for the people that you all represent in Plateau State?
Okay, first, the same majority leader came into the same television station to say that I was charged with a misappropriation last time. If you still have that record when he came, you can play it for the people of the public to see. And today he says gross misconduct. That definition lies in his hand. I don't know what he means by that. But let me tell you that the judgment has been obtained and nobody is above the law. Judgment has been obtained and that judgment has been executed. We went to the Commissioner of Police yesterday. We gave him every briefing with his lawyers and my own lawyers. My own lawyers argued it in his own presence and showed him all the evidence. I don't even know why police are taking side in this matter. This is democracy. You should allow us to do our things peacefully. The legislative arm of government usually, is always on a rancor. So allow us to go to the House if Nalong knows that the so-called speaker is still the speaker. Let him come to the House of Assembly. Let us have our argument there in the House of Assembly. Not to be inviting for the Commissioner of Police because you have the governor in your own side. You use the Commissioner of Police by telling him to barricade this, barricade that, do this, do that. No, what we are saying is this. We have the judgment. And there's nothing like stay of execution.
Did the Commissioner of Police tell you anything about the stay of execution?
His lawyers served him with the notice of stay of execution. Get it right. Notice of stay of execution, not stay of execution. Notice of stay of execution. I told him, I said, okay, we have seen the notice. The notice is not an order. The judge has not even seen that notice. Talk more to grant it. You understand?
Yes.
I told him we still have the judgment. The judgment is still in effect. Because until the judge grant that stay of execution, and the judge cannot contradict herself, this is a declaratory judgment. A declaratory judgment means that there was no defense. Nobody filed a defense. Their lawyers were there in the court trying to defend. There was no anything defense. That was why the judge gave a declaratory judgment. Okay,
Mr. Iba,
in a declaratory judgment, you cannot come back again.
There are a couple of things here.
The judge cannot grant you. The judge cannot grant you the opportunity to file to file a stay of execution because it's a declaratory judgment.
Okay, Mr. Iba, we would get Mr. Nanlong to talk about the declaratory judgment or stay of execution, but you've been told. Mr. Nanlong says that you are not even a member of the House because going by the law, your seat had been declared vacant after you left the party to the opposition. And so you cannot even be claiming to be a Speaker of the House when you're not a member of the House.
Okay, I have addressed that issue. The House of Assembly have no right to interpret the Constitution. Who gave them the right to say that they declared my seat vacant in the first place? What the APC needed to do is to go to court and file a suit against me that I have left their party. I got elected in their party and I left the party for another party. Then the court will decide. The court will decide. I must have to defend myself in the courts. This one, there's no fair hearing. Someone would just go to the House of Assembly and say, I have declared the seat of this person vacant without any. The only thing the House has the right of doing is to suspend the suspend a member.
Okay, let me put this question out to the both of you. Let me put this question out to the both of you, because when the both of you came into this race, both of you in 2019, for instance, both of you came in there to represent your constituents. And right now, the people you're there to represent will be wondering how you're serving them if this back and forth is going on. You've been in court. The court has said, okay, return. The members in the State Assembly are saying that no, that they have a stay of execution, or they've gone to court to appeal. They have a right of appeal, so to speak. And the police has shut down the House of Assembly because they do not want any chaos in that area. How would this matter be resolved quickly for the purpose of serving the people that elected you guys into the State Assembly?
First, let me tell you this. First, let me tell you this. They are very, very phony of using the police. During the impeachment, the purported impeachment saga, they went and invited the AIG to come to Plateau States to barricade that House of Assembly. The AIG called the two factions, myself and the so-called speaker, for us to meet and resolve our issues. And before we know it, the then Commissioner of Police stopped us from going to the House of Assembly and let them in without resolving the issues. As law-abiding citizens of Nigeria, what we did was to go to court to challenge that impeachment. We didn't follow them with any fight. So we went to the competent court of the constitution of this country. We went and seek redress, and today the redress has been given to us. I expect them to respect that. We barely have 2 months in office. So if they like, let them continue to be doing this. I have been away for 1 year, 7 months. So I don't care at this short time. I will continue to fight. I will stay there. I am the speaker, and if the speaker attempt to go there, we will order for his arrest, because that is contempt of court. He has been duly served. He has been duly served, and he has been briefed by the lawyers of the House of Assembly. He has been explained. The explanation has been given to him in full. He knows the law. They should go to the Court of Appeal and challenge the judgment of the High Court. That is the only option left to them. They don't have any option aside from that.
Honorable Abok, during the impeachment saga, reports were to the effect that you had a huge fallout with your principal, the governor, and that was at the heart of your impeachment. But there are also reports to the effect that you're being investigated by the EFCC. A certain group, Youth Rights Against Corruption, signed a petition against you, accusing you of gross financial misconduct, criminal breach of public trust, and abuse of office. The group said this action was necessitated by popular demand. How do you defend yourself against this allegation? Honorable Abok, the question is for you.
Thank you that you brought this. Thank you that you brought financial misconduct on your region now. Thank you that you brought it. And he's the same person that is saying that there's nothing like financial misconduct in that issue. Let me tell you this. We have a constitutional divide between myself and the governor. I am a legislator, he's an executive. I will work as an executive, he will work as I will work as a legislator, and he will work as an executive. And my work is to defend the country, to pass the laws, and of course defend the constitution of this Federal Republic. I have no issue with my governor. My governor is my principal. I respect him so much. And there was nothing. There were just rumors with this set of people that are arguing now on the television, telling him lies against me. Impeachment, if the governor thinks that I was trying to impeach him, impeachment is not done in just a single day. It has a process. So why will I attempt to even say that we are trying to impeach the governor, or we are not having any conflict? But they went and incited the governor, speak with the governor against me, and trying to bring a kind of conflict between the two of us. And again, going to EFCC, EFCC is everybody can write to the EFCC based on his one Today I'm free. You can see me live and direct here in the television.
Okay.
That means there was nothing like that. I went and defended myself in the FCC, and the FCC saw no reason to hold me. There's nothing. Myself and the majority leader were there in the FCC. He was in the FCC too.
All right. Well, let's get Honorable Nanlong's final thoughts on this, especially his response to Neota's question as we wind down in less than 2 minutes. Incidentally, the majority leader, you lost your re-election bid. The speaker lost his re-election bid. Even Honorable Abok tried to, make that run for the National Assembly. It didn't work out. 2 months to the end of this assembly. Just a moment. Can you hear me now, Honorable Nanlong? I was saying that, incidentally now, you lost your re-election bid, the Speaker lost his re-election bid, even Honorable Abok tried to make a run for the National Assembly, didn't quite work out, and you have 2 months to the end of the State Assembly. What is the way forward for you? Would you be looking for maybe some sort of reuniting so that you can work for the good of the people? Don't forget that the people of Plateau elected you to do the work for them. And that's in addition to your response to Neota's question. That's for Honorable Nanlong.
He's out.
Honorable Nanlong, can you hear me? Okay. Well, I think he's out. Well, I think we'll just wind down on that note. Honorable Nanlong has since been knocked out of the conversation, but I think we've presented some insight into what's going on. I'll be giving updates to Nigerians in the coming days. But I'd like to thank you so much, gentlemen. Honorable Abok Ayuba, who's a reinstated Speaker, Plateau State House of Assembly, as well as Honorable Daniel Nanlong, the Majority Leader, Plateau State House of Assembly. Thank you so much for your time on the program. We'll take a moment now, and when we turn our attention to a very, very important topic, not just for today, but for the future of our nation. That's the moment. Stay with us.